Hello everybody, welcome or welcome back. My name is Monique and this is Medora Budgets. I'd like to thank anybody who's liked or commented on any of my videos, and especially those that have chosen to subscribe to my channel. Truly started this as a way to hold myself accountable, but I understand, recognize, and appreciate the community as a whole. So if you are rocking with me on this journey, thank you, thank you, thank you. If you haven't made up your mind yet, sit with me for a spell. At the end of this video, if it's content you find valuable or enjoyable, please feel free to subscribe. It's myself and Sweets, married with a whole bunch of kids, figuring out our future family and finances so the decisions we're making now won't negatively impact us in the future. So I am here. Today is Sunday, September the 15th. Yes. And we're here to do a budget with me that I will show on Wednesday, 16, 17, on the 18th. I will be out of town in Texas for business, but this was a video I know I could make because my last payment that I needed to make, or bill that I needed to make, came out this morning. So I know, you know, kind of where I am. So this is my, well, let me slow down a minute. So I am a bi-weekly paycheck budgeter. I do a monthly calendar overview. That's what you're seeing here. And I use washi tape to denote where my paycheck cycles start and end. I've already done a budget with me, like a weekly check-in on the 12th of last week, last Thursday. And I was just waiting for a few things to clear. So I'm going to try and scooch in here a little bit. I got a different camera angle because I knew I was going to be doing this. Come in a little bit. There you go. Well, I'll talk about that in a minute. So the things that needed to clear were the iCloud on the for $1 on the 12th, and then Apple Care on the $4 on the 13th. Those came out of my Ally credit card, and I will take care of those when I do a cash unstuffing. And then I had water, which increased from $25 to $37, and now that's taken care of. So if you look, everything that needed to come out for this paycheck in preparation for the paycheck I'm going to receive on the 20th has already come out. Now, some of you all might say, well, now it's Sunday, Monique. Are you telling me you're not going to spend any money on Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday? I don't anticipate doing that. Usually when we go out or when I travel for business, any expenses that I have will be covered by the company, and I'll just get reimbursed for those. And for the most part, though, they bring in breakfast, they bring in lunch, they have something for us to do for dinner time. So for the majority of the time that we're there, we won't have any expenses to cover. And if we do, that are not going to get paid for by the business, then I will reconcile that later when I do a cash unstuffing. Now, I was not planning on doing this video. I think on the last one, the Monday mini that I did, that you probably saw on Monday, I said that this would probably be my last video until about Friday when I got back. At that point, I would probably make another video, but I'd already gone in and did set the budget in my digital planner. I just haven't written it out in the paper planner. So I'm going to go ahead and cover it. I haven't done digital planning or budgeting for a while, at least on camera. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. So this is the calendar that I have. You know, I am creating my own Bujo bullet journal in a digital format. And thankfully, people like Planning Serenity taught us how to create links. So that's all I did within this monthly calendar. I do have a separate finance planner that I found on Etsy that I'm using currently. And so all I do at this point is use the link, and these links are always available on every single page within my bullet journal that I'm creating. I'll have a Google where I can, a Google link where I can go to my Google Calendar and add any events that I need to. I have a finance link, and this leads to the financial or the digital budget book that I have. And then I have a home, which just brings me pretty much back here to this page. And then I am creating links for each day. So if I create a daily bullet journal page, then I create a link for it so that I would just click on that day and say, let's see what happened on that day. I click on it, and then it gives me everything that happened. And then up here in the corner, I have one added one on the daily pages. I do have a link to link me back to my monthly calendar. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Let's see, is this one of the days? Yeah, this is one of the days that it does work. Okay, so that's how I'm working through it as far as the digital planning is concerned. And then let's go ahead. I'm going to click on that. That leads me to, because I was in the month of September in my bullet journal. So I'm linking to the month of September in the financial planner as well. So I'm going to go to the monthly page. This is where I'm tracking all of the expenses, and I highlight them once they have been paid and taken care of. I will do a budget closeout now that this last water bill has already cleared. I will do a budget closeout of this later on, probably as a little short so that you guys can see that. And that's me tracking my expenses for this last paycheck cycle. And here we go. So here's us going into September 20th paycheck that will last from September the 20th through October the 4th. So let's go ahead and get into it. As far as my income is concerned, I plan on having $1,500 come into my bills account, $800 going into the variable. Right now, I'm going to say a 0 for the other or rollover. And the reason why I'm saying that is because I used up all of the money I was supposed to have. So I was supposed to have $82 left over. I moved some money over from my bills buffer into my bills account, make sure that I had enough to pay $100. And I did that as an extra debt payment on my city card. So I'm not anticipating having anything left. So let us go up a little bit more in the size. So that should be a total of $2,300 total as far as my income is concerned. Now, when it comes to bills, tithes, pet, and car insurance are already taken out before I write in that $2,300, so we don't have to worry about that. 102 going to gas, mortgage. Remember, I'm going to do $365. Now, I am listening. The Wicked Stepmom, I think is her channel, and Beautiful Budgets both said, hey, you need to just put that money on the side, sis, and don't worry about actually making a payment, because they seem to keep messing it up. Penny Mac has it messed up even now, and I've got to figure out some time to call them because they applied it to my principal, and then now it's saying that my principal was reduced by the full amount, the amount that I paid for the $710 of my regular payment and the $365. I don't know what they're doing. So I'm going to take that one on the chin. That's my fault, but I'm going to make sure I never do that again. So that $365 will be pulled from this paycheck and put over into my bills buffer account until I'm ready to make a payment. And actually, nope, I'm going to go ahead and pay it because it's due on the 1st. So I will make the payment for this, but going forward, that's what I'm going to do. If I do a split bill, I'm going to stick that money on the side, and I will pay in one lump sum when I'm supposed to, so that we won't have any issues. Ring is $10, electric $202, AHS, which is a home warranty, is $49. Lawn Love, I've already paused that. The lawn has not grown at all. I don't know if I did my last one at this point. It might grow a little bit more where I need to worry about it the next paycheck. But for this paycheck, I can skip. Xerxes, I'm going to put a 0 there. They cut him pretty short. If you don't remember, his groomer left the company. And so when the lady who he went to just for right now actually she cut him really short. So I think I might be able to just wash them myself and we might be okay. So I'm going to say 0 for that. Next is property insurance. Now I am going to pay that on the 4th, but I have a sinking fund for that. That's why it's in gray, because I'm not going to keep it in these numbers or account for it in these numbers. But I do know that that amount needs to be paid and I need to track it. So all of these together should add up to $728. So 102 plus 365. And yep, 728 equals 728. All right, so we are good. Let's subtract that from, so that leaves me with $1,572. $1,572. All right, cash envelopes is next. This is the amounts that I'm going to do for 2 weeks. Now, normally I have a line here in between and I separate week 1 from week 2. But remember, I am now cash stuffing week 1, and then I'm going to do a cashless stuffing to my Ally checking account for week 2. I did not explain why I was moving to that format, but I'll just share that with you guys now. I am keeping my money, the money that I have for personal spend, my me money in the same account that I was holding this week 2 of expenses. So what was happening is I was having to mentally keep track of exactly how much money I needed to leave in there just to make sure that that money could be allocated for week 2 for variable expenses versus the money that I had for me to spend from a personal standpoint. And a couple of paychecks ago, that got a little dicey. I might have spent a little bit more than I was supposed to, so I had to pull some money from my variable buffer to kind of account for that, and that's when I decided I wanted to make a change. So going forward, I'm going to put a week's worth of money in cash in the envelopes, keep a week's worth of money online, and that way, and I'm going to do that immediately on that Friday when I get paid. That way, what's actually in my variable account is all that I have to spend, nothing more, nothing less. I also wanted to change some things up. So typically these all together would equal like 640 or something like that. So I've backed these numbers down. I'm not giving as much as I did before to some of the categories, nor I'm not giving anything for extra savings. We talked about bonus babies, that they're going to get 20 every paycheck instead of 20 every week. And so with some of the changes that I've made now, for a 2-week period, we're looking at about $500 that I will spend as far as variable expenses. And the reason why I came down on that amount is because I want to start to contribute more towards my, what is it? A 100 envelope. Y'all forgive me, the 100 envelope. That was it. All right, so all of that together should equal $500. 40, 20, 40, 20. Yep, $500. All right, so we are good on that. Next, for sinking funds, I'm going to give for property insurance, I give $80. For my subscriptions, I give $80. That's every paycheck. And so that's $160 automatic that will go towards that. I want to bump this up a little bit more, and I'm going to give $40 additional to sinking funds. So outside of those two for property and subscriptions, I still have 8 other sinking funds, high priority sinking funds. So that's a total of 10. And I want to give each of them something going forward. So 80 to property insurance, subscriptions will get 80. And then the sinking fund amount here, this $40, that's going to be $5 for each of the remaining 8 sinking funds. And that's how I came up with that number for the 200. All right, so I haven't subtracted. So this 1,572 amount left, $500 was for cash envelopes. So this should have said 1,072 that was left. Then up here, 172 minus 200 equals $872 is now left. And you guys might see this screen kind of going in and out, getting blurry, etc. I think this file itself is pretty large and it's causing a little bit of an issue. So again, I'm going to be on the hunt for another budget binder. All right, so that's 872. All right, next is my savings. So what I've decided to do, and I mentioned this before, for the 100 envelope challenge that I'm doing, I want to fill in at least 1 through 30. I think I'm actually going to do 1 through 40 at some point, I think, before I start to fill in the other one. So I got this idea from Happy to Plan with Desiree, I think is her name. What she does is she fills in all of these little ones up to like 30, 40 or something like that. And then she pulls all of that cash out and uses it to fill in the big ones. And then she starts back over again, filling in that 1 through 30 or 1 through 40. So she's always saving little amounts to try and take care of the big amounts. And then she gets there that way, because these numbers don't feel as daunting as these other numbers. I thought that was a great idea. So that's what I'm going to do. So this next paycheck, I'm going to do 22, 23, 24, and 26. And all of that adds up to 22, 23, 24, 26 is $95. All right, so that's what you see there, $95 for that. I'm going to give $120 for the Monday Mini, and that's the That's the two $60 sets for the 2 weeks that I do the Monday mini savings challenge. I'm going to give an extra $25 to debt. I actually had 7. You guys might see that in another video as well. I was going in and putting some money in after the Monday mini. I finished the savings challenge. I went in and was putting some money in there. And I'm like, hey, I got $75 in my extra debt. I forgot about that. So the $100 that I paid in extra debt was just money I had in my account. I was also saving in the extra debt envelope. I have $75 in there. I'm going to add another $25, and that should be another $100 extra debt payment that I'll be able to make. I'm excited about that. So I'm going to do that as well. So that's that 25. And then for my self-care, my personal binder and my family binder, $30 for each of those. And that's going to be a total of $60. Why $30 for each? Because I have 6 envelopes in each, and that's $5 for each of those envelopes. So just to give a little something to everything. So that's another 60. And so that's going to be a total of $300. And that, we subtract that from $872. And that leaves $572. And then here, I'm going to make my regular city payment of $155 still on top of the 2 extra debt payments that I will have made this month, plus the $255 for the split bill for my auto payment. Nelnet comes out on the 5th and not the 4th, so I'm transitioning that over to next week. Next paycheck period, which is when it should really come out. So I'm going to do a 0 for that, which means city, making sure my numbers are right. 155, 255, means that's a total of 400. Can you see that? No, the lighting is a little dark. But that's $255. No, sorry, $410. What was I thinking? 410. So let's take 410 from 572. And that equals $162 that should be left. So I'm just going to write all those numbers in. So that's $2,300. Bills is $1,572. Expenses is $500. Sinking funds is $200. Savings is $300. Debt is minus $410. And that should leave me $162, which is great. I might need that extra at some point. So that will be, what I'm most happy about is that will be total $355 that I will pay to Citi for this month around my debt. All right, that is it. I'm not going to do the cash stuffing stuff and working out the denominations and all of that stuff. I will do that when I get back into town. But I did want to come through and just do the budget with me now and get that over and done with. All right, you guys. Thanks, everybody, for your time. You guys have a good one.